Have you seen the frightening predictions The Simpsons made for 2024? These folks really seem to know what's going to happen in the future. I'll show you what has already come true and what we should all be genuinely worried about. From World War III to the conquest of other planets. Think it's nonsense? Watch until the end, and your opinion will definitely change. What has already come true? The Simpsons is a legendary American animated show that sometimes makes its viewers think the creators are from the future. And to back that up, let me show you some predictions that really did come true. In an episode called Politically Inept with Homer Simpson, there was a news segment about Europe selling Greece on eBay. It sounds like a joke, but soon after, Greece indeed found itself in a deep economic crisis. Who would have thought? And in 1998, in Simpsons Tide, they mentioned Ebola fever, which again became a global concern in 2014 with hundreds of people dying. Coincidence? I don't think so. Or how about FaceTime, shown back in 1995 in the episode Lisa's Wedding? It became a reality with the advent of this technology on smartphones in 2010. What about the prediction of a global pandemic? Rewatch the 1993 episode Mars in Chains, where a virus arrived in Springfield from China, causing numerous casualties. Sound familiar? Okay, you might say it's just a coincidence. Then what about more specific predictions? For example, in 2001, Lisa Simpson appears as the future president wearing a purple coat and pearl necklace, exactly like Kamala Harris at her inauguration in 2021. How could this just be a coincidence? Now that you understand the accuracy level of this strange animated series predictions, let me show you what awaits us this year. Donald Trump. And we can't ignore current political events. On November 8, 2022, Donald Trump officially announced his intention to run for the U.S. presidency in 2024, confirming many preliminary rumors and expectations. However, the most intriguing part of this news is that The Simpsons hinted at this possibility in a 2015 episode. In an episode called Bart to the Future, there's a scene where Homer falls from the sky, and in the background there's an election poster with the words, Trump 2024. This raises questions about how the creators could foresee such a development. Could this be just a coincidence, or do the creators have some extraordinary foresight? This episode became even more noticeable, considering it was released several years before Trump first took the presidential seat. This adds another layer of intrigue and mystery to an already complex situation. Let's not forget that The Simpsons had already predicted his presidency in a 2001 episode, where Lisa Simpson mentions that her predecessor was none other than Donald Trump. When Trump actually became president in January 2017, many recalled this as an incredible coincidence. These episodes blur the lines between coincidence and intentional foresight. Predicting the same event twice is nearly impossible, even by probability theory. Could the show's creators really see into the future? How far can an animated series go in its predictions? I'll try to answer these questions further, as the most frightening predictions are yet to come. Apple Vision Pro. By the way, here's another thing that already came true this year. In February, the world was introduced to a revolutionary new product from Apple, the Vision Pro, a virtual reality headset that allows users to immerse themselves in ultra-realistic virtual worlds. But should we be surprised by this innovation? Perhaps The Simpsons already hinted at such technological development. Back in 2016, in the episode Friends and Family, Mr. Burns uses a prototype of a similar virtual reality headset to have Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie play as his ideal family. This technology strikingly resembled the just-released Vision Pro. When the product became available, chaos ensued in Springfield. People started stumbling over real objects while being absorbed in the virtual world. Now that Vision Pro has hit the market, we see similar scenarios in real life, with Apple even having to limit the use of the headset while moving. How did The Simpsons manage to predict the emergence of such a product 6 years before its announcement? It might be just a lucky coincidence, but given the many predictions the show has made over the years, one starts to wonder. This makes every new episode not only entertaining, but also a subject for analysis and potential future forecasts. Scary, isn't it? But let's move on to even more serious predictions. Black hole. In 2013, The Simpsons pondered what would happen when humanity seriously started studying black holes, and it was set for 2024. It might have seemed far off, but the recent satellite launch in India could change our understanding of black holes, which were previously considered almost unreachable for research. So, what's so scary about this? Discoveries related to black holes always frighten and fascinate because they can destroy everything in their path, including our planet. Hopefully, it won't go that far. Frightening, but that's just the beginning. Return of the USSR. Let's talk about an even more global prediction. In an episode from season 25 of The Simpsons, a map of the USSR appears, expanded to include all 15 former republics plus Norway, Finland, and Sweden. A joke and satire? But what if this really happens? You might say it's just a map, why worry? But there's another interesting point with Superintendent Chalmers, who mentions the 79th lap around the school, which coincides with the 79th session of the UN General Assembly, and it really is scheduled for the fall of 2024. This might be just a coincidence, but it could also indicate how the show's creators use symbolism and numbers to add hidden meaning or commentary on current events. Moreover, here we see two predictions in one episode. What will actually happen? Hopefully, it will just be the session, because the revival of the USSR with the inclusion of other countries is almost a guaranteed World War III. But wait, they predicted that too. World War III. In November 1987, when The Simpsons was just starting its journey on television, they released a short film titled World War III. Although this episode was satirical, it depicted Homer Simpson preparing his family for World War III, simulating a nighttime alarm and the dropping of bombs. This episode remains one of the darkest in the series' history. Today, decades later, the world, unfortunately, is not more peaceful. Currently, according to data, the global situation is extremely tense. There are several major military conflicts, such as the internal conflict in Myanmar, the Israeli-Palestinian War, the Russia-Ukraine War, and the war in Sudan. Adding to this are smaller but no less significant conflicts, such as the war in Colombia, which claimed more than 2,000 lives last year, the civil war in Somalia with over 9,000 casualties, conflicts in Nigeria with over 3,000 killed, and the drug war in Mexico, where more than 7,000 people died last year alone. These data raise the question of how close the world is to a global war. In my view, closer than ever. It feels like kerosene has been spilled all over our planet, and we're just waiting for a match to strike. Tensions between the world's largest powers, the United States, Russia, China, and North Korea, continue to grow, and many experts believe the world is already on the brink of a major war. In this context, The Simpsons' predictions made decades ago seem not just like dark satire, but a warning we should heed to stop in time. But what if the war does start? The animated series has an answer to that too. Colonization of Mars. In March 2016, an episode of The Simpsons titled The Marge-Ian Chronicles presented viewers with the fantastic concept of Mars colonization. In the episode, Homer and his family participate in a program that turns out to be a scam, but despite all the difficulties, Marge and Lisa reach Mars, which was planned to happen in 2051. This cartoon scenario oddly mirrors the real plans of Elon Musk and his company SpaceX for Mars colonization. Musk has already announced his ambitious plans to send the first crewed mission to the Red Planet, initially set for 2026, with a potential acceleration to 2024. However, due to various technical and financial challenges, these timelines might be revised, and as Musk recently mentioned, the actual colonization of Mars might take another 3 to 4 years. Musk is also actively working on the Starship rocket, which could be key to achieving his dream of interplanetary travel. He envisions a future where people can move to Mars, making it a second home for humanity. For now, the reality of Mars colonization seems like something out of science fiction, but considering the pace of technological advancements and the growing interest in space expansion, perhaps by 2051, there will indeed be fully fledged cities on Mars, as predicted in The Simpsons. This would be a monumental achievement in human history, about which The Simpsons could say, "We told you so." Olympic Games. Here's another prediction that is coming true right before our eyes. In the 10th season of The Simpsons, which aired back in 1999, there was an amazing prediction. In the episode The Old Man and the Sea Student, one of the characters, a representative of France, claims that Paris would be the perfect venue for the 2024 Olympic Games. This scene ends rather comically. The Frenchman, in a fit of passion, throws wine in the face of the chairman. And now, a quarter of a century later, this bold forecast proves accurate. The Summer Olympic Games are indeed taking place in Paris from July 26 to August 11, 2024. It turns out that the creators of The Simpsons once again guessed the future, adding not only humor to their episode, but also an astonishing accuracy of prediction. How is that even possible? It's just crazy. Baby Translator. Here's another incredible device that, according to The Simpsons, awaits us this year. The invention, capable of translating baby babble into understandable words, seems like something out of science fiction, but The Simpsons foresaw it many years ago. In the final episode of the 3rd season titled, "Brother, Can You Spare 2 Dimes?", Herb, Homer's half-brother, creates a device that turns babies' unclear sounds into clear speech. Herb, who had previously lost his fortune, borrowed $2,000 from Homer to develop this product, which turned out to be a very profitable investment. investment. It turns out that similar technologies are already on the horizon in the real world. A company called Dream is working on a technology that will allow parents and pediatricians to understand what exactly a baby feels or wants. Their approach involves using non-invasive monitoring systems and artificial intelligence to analyze baby speech. Despite the fact that there are many apps on the internet claiming to interpret baby babble, most do not live up to expectations. However, Dream promises that their technology will be much more accurate thanks to an innovative sound-based system. With the advancement of artificial intelligence technology and improved understanding of human speech, we might be on the verge of a revolutionary breakthrough in communication with the youngest among us. If everything goes according to plan, by the end of 2024, parents may indeed have the ability to understand their children with new accuracy, thanks to a real working baby translator. This would not only be amazing, but could drastically change family interactions. I'm sure parents would snatch up such a device at any price. Holograms. Here's another invention I always dreamed about as a kid. The use of holograms in everyday life is one of those topics that has long seemed more of a science fiction element than reality. However, The Simpsons, in their typical style, in the 34th season, showed Bart receiving a holographic invitation to a party, which might have seemed like fantasy just a few years ago. This moment in the episode sparked interest in the possibilities of holograms in the real world. A company called Holoconnects, for example, is developing a product called Holobox, which resembles a phone booth and allows full-sized holograms of conversation partners to be displayed. This technology promises to make video calls so realistic that the conversation will feel natural, even if your interlocutor is thousands of miles away. With its help, holograms could become part of our daily communication, requiring only electricity and an internet connection. The question of whether holograms will become commonplace by 2024 remains open. Technologies are advancing rapidly, and each year the boundaries between what seemed impossible yesterday and reality today are increasingly blurred, and the first batch of these devices is planned for release this year. It looks like The Simpsons once again pointed to a potential future that could come true before our eyes. Crazy, right? Be sure to write your opinion in the comments, and if you also love unusual stories, know how to edit videos, do voiceovers, or write great scripts, join our Telegram bot via the link in the description. I'd be happy to collaborate with you, and thanks for watching.